Hey, so I just want to make the video here about sometimes I really don't like what I see on forums. I had something on my face, sorry. And it's concerning to me sometimes. There was a user that I saw over on Reddit, and a young guy, and I think 23 or so, and he was feeling almost like suicidal because he's got this sound. He's like, I don't think I can make it through the rest of my life like this. It's terrible. And then, you know, you start reading some of the comments of people saying, "Oh, I've had tinnitus for 20 years and my life is miserable." And you know, I'm trying my best, but I'm just not getting through it very well either. And you know, you see these negative comments, and it really does not help somebody who just got tinnitus. So that's one of the reasons I have this channel here. Is that I want to reassure people it's not that bad, given some time and some work to get yourself in a good spot. But reading some of that stuff is not helping. And so, someone posted a comment here today after they said something along the lines of they were near suicidal. I can't remember exactly what the Reddit post said. And then I saw the next couple of comments from a couple people who were saying, "Oh, it's awful. Tinnitus is awful. I hate it. I'm not getting through it either." And I don't like reading that. I don't know each person's individual story, but I know I've heard a lot of stories where just about everybody gets to a good place. And the people who don't get to a good place, you can hear their negativity. You can hear their talking about how much they hate it and how they can't live their life and stuff like that. And that's so much part of the story because there is a connection with our subconscious brain. And when we keep telling our brain, there's a problem, we've got this sound, that's so much the heart of the problem. And we get quickly trained into it because we hear this sound. Let me tell you, I'm still hearing it. I'm fine. And I know so many people, they're still hearing it and they're fine. It's not affecting their lives. And most of the time, I don't notice it. They don't notice it. We've gotten to a good place. Sometimes people get spikes and they come back to this place where they're not feeling so good. And then they deal with it and they get better even then too. So let me read his comment a little bit here. I thought it was a nice comment too. I was happy to read it because I saw him kind of struggling over there on Reddit. I don't hate Reddit. There's some really good people on Reddit, so please don't take it that way. But he said, "Hi David, I just found your videos and I really appreciate them. I've only had tinnitus for about 2 weeks and it's been extremely jarring. I'm hoping it goes away, but if not, hopefully I can habituate." I love hearing him say that because that's not what he was saying before. The hardest part has been the isolation. What he means by the isolation, I don't know anyone else who has had this at my age. It doesn't matter which age you have it. It doesn't really change things that much. It's just, you have to learn to work with it, and it may very well go away. But if it doesn't, you'll be fine too. It was good for him to hear from people who have been struggling and also have gotten into a good place. But he said, "But watching you as a real person describe how you've been able to habituate really gives me the hope I need to keep moving forward and improving." Yes. And I know you will absolutely be able to do that. But it may be rough for a patch, learning to consider this as something that's not a threat. That's always the first step to habituation. It's not going to hurt you. You're going to be okay. You're not going to suddenly freak out one day or something, and it's not going to go really loud or something like that. It's not comfortable. I get it, but that level of comfort is going to steadily improve if you do the right things. And the only bad news I can say is sometimes it does take a while, but it can get better and better, and you've got to start cultivating the faith. And, this is kind of like your life struggle you've got to go through, and you can fight the challenge and you will come out the other side and you'll be okay. So, but it can take a little while. So And the first step is realizing it's not going to hurt you. And then the second step, you probably need some background noise. If you're really just not sleeping or something, you might need some medication for that. I hope you don't, but if you do, that's also not the end of the world. I had to take some to get me to sleep. And then, after that, you've got to start finding ways to divert your attention onto other things. And I've made so many videos on this topic. You can watch others. But drawing, singing, exercise, dancing, the list goes on, and just things to get your mind on something. And it may be hard to concentrate on those things, but it will get easier, especially if you don't see tinnitus as a threat. It's not going to hurt anything. And your brain is going to start deprioritizing it as something that you need to think about. Right now, you're like, oh my God, I have to think about this. It's a problem. I have to think about this. Oh, it's still there. I have to think about this. But after a while, it'll get so much tuned out that you don't even, you may hear it, but you're like, it's kind of not there because you're not it's become a background noise. It's hard to imagine that it could become like that in the stage you're in now. And I felt exactly the same way. I kind of feel like it will quiet down some. That's a little bit of something hard to measure. But I feel like as my brain deprioritized the tinnitus, I kind of got to a place, where I don't think about it. I've deprioritized it. I'm relaxed about it. And I think it's kind of quieter. I mean, as I sit here right now, I totally hear it, especially if I think about it. But I don't really need to think about it because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt me. I've got other things to think about. But what a long road it took me to get to this place, And I'll tell you, it can be a real study in the brain as you learn to not think about something. And that's hard. I've said this many times, don't think about tinnitus, don't think about tinnitus. What are you thinking about tinnitus? But that's not the way. But as you learn to move your attention to things purposefully, tinnitus can actually be a great trainer in that, where you get really good at getting your concentration levels, being able to decide what you want to think about during the day. And it can really actually help you. You're like, oh, now I'm gonna. You're like, I don't want to kill myself. I want to kill you, because yeah, sure, tinnitus really helps you. No, but in a way, tinnitus kind of has helped me to, I used to be anxious about things really easily now, and now I've just learned how to say, oh, it's just a sound, and it's in the background now, and I'm gonna do something I enjoy right now, and I'm able to do that much better now than before. So let's not even talk about all this stuff, about how people have terrible experiences and that stuff. That's not going to be you, But you got to start doing the work and the steps. Just real quick refresher. Go to the doctor if you need to. Have them tell you you're okay. When I say you're not in danger, go find out for yourself and make sure that, that you're not. I think they're absolutely going to tell you that. So make sure you're not in danger. Nothing's going to happen. Background noises, starting to be able to get your mind on other things. And you got to set a list of things you're going to think about. You might have to structure your day a little bit. I'm going to be exercising. I'm going to sing. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and try your best, to do that. If you need a medication, okay, maybe, but maybe you won't. And then, what was the other thing? Visualize that you're going to be like me one day, or you're going to be like you, but you're going to be fine. Know that is very, very much a strong possibility of exactly what's going to go down, just like it does for almost everybody. And I hate to use the word almost. It's the people who can't quite get this part right. And you will. Just Get yourself on the program. It's going to take a little time. You might get lucky. It either goes away or you kind of get there fast and you're like, oh, I'm feeling confident. Okay, I hear it, but I'd love to hear you saying, I hear it. I don't really like it, but I'm getting where I can adjust to it. I'm not worried about it anymore. I'm going to go do some other stuff and not think about it so much. If you could get there faster, that would be great. I hope you can. It might take a little time, or maybe you could just get right there if you'll just understand these things faster. Okay, best of wishes. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.